Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Let's go. Minority held a press conference yesterday. Let's look at why they want Ablakwa to be sacked. Now, Ernest Kofi Edu from Parliament is reporting the Minority Caucus in Parliament has called on President John Dramani Mahama to immediately remove Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa as Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, accusing him of reckless diplomacy that has plunged the country into an international crisis with severe economic consequences. Addressing a press conference in Parliament yesterday, the Minorities Foreign Affairs Committee, through the MP for Bosome Frɛho and Deputy Ranking Member Nana Asafo Aye, said Ghana's inclusion on the United States of 75 countries facing an indefinite pause in immigrant visa processing was a direct result of what it describes as the minister's immature, confrontational, and diplomatically illiterate conduct. Now, the minority noted that on January 13, 2026, the U.S. Department of State announced the visa pause, a decision which it said would have devastating implications for thousands of Ghanaian families and professionals seeking lawful permanent residence in the United States. According to the minority, the development undermines family reunification efforts and disrupts the plans of skilled workers who had complied fully with U.S. immigration requirements. Beyond the social impact, the minority warns of grave economic consequences. It said Ghana receives between $3.7 billion and $6.6 billion annually in diaspora remittances, with the United States accounting for the largest share, estimated at between $1.5 billion and $2.5 billion each year. Now, the caucus argues that freezing immigrant visa processing threatens this vital economic lifeline, warning that today's visa restrictions could translate into tomorrow's decline in remittances, worsening the hardship of families and communities across the country. The minority laid the blame squarely at the feet of Mr. Ablakwa, accusing him of choosing megaphone diplomacy over quiet professional engagement. It cited what it called a pattern of public confrontation with key partners, including the United States and Israel, rather than the use of established diplomatic channels to resolve technical issues around migration, deportation, and consular cooperation. As evidence, the caucus pointed to the December 2025 incident involving the deportation of Ghanaians from Israel, after which the foreign minister ordered the immediate deportation of Israel nationals from Accra and publicly announced a policy of reciprocal deportations. The minority described this as petulant showmanship that violated basic diplomatic norms and portrayed Ghana as unpredictable and untrustworthy. It further accused the minister of failing to anticipate the policy direction of the current U.S. administration, despite previous instances where visa sanctions had been used against Ghana. And according to minority, a competent foreign affairs minister should have engaged in early warning analysis, scenario planning, and quiet negotiations to prevent the country's inclusion on the list. The caucus also criticized what it calls a failure to leverage Ghana's strong relations with the European Union to lobby Washington, arguing that recent foreign policy posturing had alienated key allies and made coordinated support impossible. In addition to calling Mr. Ablakwa's removal, the minority demanded immediate public accountability from the Foreign Affairs Minister, including full disclosure of communications with the United States over the past 18 months, and a clear strategy for securing Ghana's removal from the visa list. And it also wants an establishment of high-level technical working group with U.S. authorities, the withdrawal of the tit-for-tat deportation policy with Israel, and appointment of a special envoy to handle diaspora and migration affairs. Now, okay, so do they have a case?
Oh, why are you coming to me? Easy?
Well, no, it's not. It's
a discussion.
He's a member of the LPP. All right,
but he can also talk about it.
No, so
Alfred has been calling himself we, the whole morning. Continue with your we.
We as in LPP.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Why do we?
So
Kwesi doesn't want to be on an attacking mood this morning.
No, I'm not.
No, that's what you are doing now.
No, but Alfred.
Masa, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I have read the statement several times over.
Okay.
And I listened to you when we were reading it from the newspaper.
Right.
I don't understand it. Okay? And that is why I think that this discussion will be held if Alfred will shed more light on it. What are they complaining about? Because I don't get it. So if Alfred will shed a little more light on what they are complaining about, then we can have a discussion.
Alfred, those
as it is, it's just verbiage.
Those are very strong words that you use against a foreign minister. I mean, justify the use of those. When I say you, not as a minority, I mean that he's immature, he's not diplomatic, he's incompetent. I mean, these are very, very serious adjectives. So tell us why he deserves all these adjectives.
They stated it in their press conference.
Okay.
They stated everything they
You can
wanted
shed
to.
some more light.
They've told us what is wrong and what they feel is not right.
Okay.
I would add a little that we all know that Trump is in a mode that no one can set or reset. So whatever you do, if he decides that today, I don't want to see any Ghanaian in US, he can push everything, helter-skelter, and doesn't listen to anybody. I would say that sometimes in some of these things, yes, you can come out with it, but there should be some talks behind closed doors. He's a member, the person is a member, or my brother is a member of the minority, the foreign affairs team. They have their own issues there, I know. And I know that some of these things bring these things out. So we should sit down and look at this thing well. Everybody learns on the job as a minister. If you tell me the truth, if you ask me, everybody learns on the job. When you go there, immediately you would not get everything right. There will be some challenges you face. I would say Okujeto should have a listening ear. He should sit down and see where they think he is wrong. If he feels that he is wrong and he can do something better, because in one or two cases too, it's also negotiated well. So I wouldn't have much to say. I'll say that they've stated their case. I believe that the minister should listen. He should sit down with them, see where some things can be corrected. Then we go on from there.
But Alfred, this is where I have a bit of a challenge. Just one question before I bring you.
Kwesi is happy about all that.
We're talking about 75 countries.
Yeah.
Okay.
Immediately that information came out, a friend from the States, people started sending me information. Hey, see, what's your
No, I mean, it's cause for concern, no doubt.
Relax.
It's cause for concern.
Let's understand
but here's the
whole
thing.
thing well.
75 countries. I'm trying to understand really what a strong correlation between. Now, this is the minorities' understanding of why we're added to the list. They're saying that Ablakwa. They said, so ranking member Nana Asafo-Adjei said, Ghana's inclusion on the United States list of 75 countries facing an indefinite pause in immigrant visa processing was a direct result of what it describes as the minister's immature, confrontational, and diplomatically illiterate conduct. And that, according to the minority, the development undermines blah, 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 blah. That freezing immigrant visa processing threatens. Okay, so he talks about the social. But I'm trying to understand what exactly Ablakwa has done.
Something. Listen to
that got Ghana into the list of 75 countries.
Masa, you've just read the relevant part of the story. One of the most relevant parts of the story.
Right.
The U.S. takes action against 75 countries, including Ghana.
Yes.
Our minority has come to the conclusion that those actions were taken because our minister was reckless and so on. Is it the case that 75 foreign ministers were reckless and immature?
That's not what they are saying. They are looking at Ghana as a particular case. And you know Trump can react when you do something.
I thought you didn't want to speak. Now that I'm speaking, they're cutting you.
No, but when you say things that, I mean...
Please,
okay, you finish. No, you finish.
You know. So you say that 75 countries, for want of a better word, have been sanctioned. But in our particular case, it was because of the immaturity and recklessness of our foreign minister. What about the 74 other countries?
Okay. There could be 74 other
But that they don't know.
They don't know.
There could be 74 other defendants.
So it means that the U.S. could take those actions not in response to recklessness and immaturity. That's an admission.
True.
Unless you want to say that for all the 74 other countries, their ministers were like Ablakwa, immature, you know, and so on and so on. Hey, what is this? Moro, did you understand what they're saying? And then they go on. And then they talk about the principle of reciprocity.
Yes.
And don't forget,
I do you.
The principle of reciprocity. Hold on.
Tit for tat. Just use this for tat.
That is a fundamental principle in diplomatic relations.
Right.
Everywhere in the world. Ghana applies that under Ablakwa's stewardship as Minister of Foreign Affairs, and hell breaks loose. This is a fundamental principle in international diplomacy. What did he do? Members of parliament went to Israel. Israel arrested them. Ghanaian members of parliament went to Israel. Israel arrested them. You understand? Subjected them to degrading treatment. Members of parliament. And a section of our parliament can hold a press conference and say, we shouldn't have retaliated. My goodness. What kind of parliamentarians are these? They are not even ready to defend their own dignity. It is not like I went to Israel and I was harassed and so on. Members of parliament and an official government delegation were arrested, were humiliated and so on. And Ghana took action. Indeed, what was Israel's reaction? Israel quickly came for a settlement.
Yeah.
Israel quickly came for a settlement. How is that detrimental to the interests of Ghana? And then, if you read the statement very carefully, it is clear that they are also referring to the statement which Ghana issued, in condemnation of the kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro, president of Venezuela. It is obvious that that is one of their beefs.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Moro, the African Union issued a statement which said in clear language that what the Trump administration had done was in violation of international law. The African Union statement is not different from the statement issued by Ghana. So, Okudjatu Ablakwa and the minority which held the press conference, which of them is reckless and irresponsible? They wanted Ghana to fight the AU. You understand? Not just that. The Organization of African Trade Union Unity, OATU, issued a much harsher statement than Ghana's foreign ministry. Not just that. CARICOM, the Alliance of Caribbean Nations, issued a very strongly worded statement. You want us to be out of step with that? Britain, the Prime Minister of Britain, emphasized the point that what Donald Trump had done was in violation of international law. Russia issued a strong statement claiming that what Donald Trump had done was in violation of international law. China issued a similar statement. Did you read the statement which was issued and signed by the Foreign Minister of Namibia? So this minority, where have they been all these years? They don't even read statements. They don't read statements from the AU. They don't read statements from CARICOM. They are not watching what Russia's position is. They are not watching what China's position is. Unbelievable. This yesterday, Macron, the French president, spoke at Davos yesterday, and you can check. Macron is saying, in reference to the behavior of Trump, that the world should ready itself to fight against new imperialism and new neocolonialism.
True.
This is Macron.
And it's in relation to the Greenland issue.
Exactly. This is Macron. This is Macron yesterday.
Yeah.
So our minority is actually on the extreme right of Macron.
Yeah.
What a minority. An African state, Ghana, which led the struggle for national independence and so on. And the minority wants us to become a doormat for Donald Trump. What minority is this? I'm so disgusted by this press conference. If you listen to the statement very carefully, this minority would have been very happy if at the time of the commission of genocide in Ghana, Ghana has stood side by side with Israel and become an embarrassment and so on. What are the principles that the minority is upholding in this matter? I'm so disgusted by this press conference. Why? What has the foreign ministry done today, which is in violation of Ghana's foreign policy? Of course, if you look at the history of the minority, you may forgive them. You may even understand them. Because I was a little boy in 1969 or 1970, at the height of apartheid rule, when the Progress Party government fought against the whole of Africa for insisting on sanctions against apartheid.
Okay.
I will not forget this. Indeed, it took Mr. Victor Wusu, who was then foreign minister of the Buzi administration, to stand up against his own government and to say that this is embarrassing and that we have to toe the line that Africa is towing. You understand? Perhaps you can also understand that during the reign of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, you saw the video of his meeting with Anthony Blinken.
Yeah.
When he was virtually telling Anthony Blinken that he needed U.S. assistance to go and fight Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of foreign policy you want for Ghana? Don't embarrass yourself. This is Ghana. This is Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana. Stop playing poodle to the United States of America and so on. Why? When Maduro was kidnapped, in less than 24 hours, there were mass demonstrations in 75 cities in the United States of America. Less than 24 hours after the abduction of Maduro, 75 cities in the United States of America mobilized themselves against the action that their president has taken. Please, stop this.
We'll take a break.
Why? We are talking about the president. Massa, we are talking about the president.
No, I'll bring you after the break.
We are talking about the president of the United States of America, who has publicly declared his intention to take over Canada.
Yeah.
And to have Canada as the 52nd state of the United States of America.
Yep.
One. We are talking about the president of the United States of America, who is openly talking about annexing Greenland, which is part of Denmark, which is part of NATO. We are talking about the president of the United States of America, who is instructing countries not to do business with China and Russia, or he will take action against them and so on. And you want a foreign ministry to be what? To be docile? My goodness, what are you talking about?
You're watching Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Please stay with us. Don't
Or they've made the right decision. I don't think it's right, Kwesi. You don't call the biggest opposition party who has seats in parliament and they are doing their work reckless.
What exactly is wrong with the use of the word reckless?
No, you know what reckless is? They don't even think before they do anything they are doing.
If I'm the minority,
and the names and things that they use.
Let me read to you what the minority has said about Ablakwa.
I said two wrongs don't make a right.
Okay.
That is what I stated.
But can I explain?
And I stated that some of these things they should sit down and judge job behind closed doors.
Let Kwesi Pratt explain what he meant earlier.
You see, if I said that the minority was reckless, I would be right.
Okay. Why?
I've listened to the Secretary General of the United Nations, Guterres. What does he say? He says that a breakdown of international law and the rules-based order could lead to global anarchy. This is the Secretary General.
Right.
I'm sure all of you have heard commentary about how if international law is set aside and the rule-based order is destroyed, we could be heading towards a thermonuclear war. You understand? Now, if people support the breaking down of the rule-based order, if they subvert international law and so on, we could be heading towards this thermonuclear war. Now listen, just the United States of America and Russia have enough nuclear weapons to destroy this world as we know it today 10 times over. Imagine, one destruction is enough. One destruction will leave nothing. But they have the power to destroy this world 10 times over. If you look at Asia, India, and I think Pakistan have nuclear weapons. North Korea has nuclear weapons. You understand? Israel in West Asia has nuclear weapons and so on. Look at this situation. So if you have a foreign minister who is saying that let's be careful, Let's preserve the international order so that we don't break out into a thermonuclear war. And you issue such a statement about the foreign minister, which clearly shows that you believe that the international order should be broken down. Are you not reckless in the extreme? Are you not reckless in the extreme? Is it insulting to describe this as recklessness? Something which can destroy our planet, can destroy our world. Is that not recklessness? If that is not recklessness, what can be reckless?
Alfred wants to use,
So I don't recall
use a different word.
I don't recall using the word reckless. But I'm happy that Alfred has supplied me with the word.
It's not only reckless. You used several deterioratory words that I don't think is right. What you feel that I said are no good, I should come and mention it on air.
Mention them.
So here's the definition of reckless. We've just dug something out. Reckless means acting without thinking about the risk or consequences, often in a careless or dangerous way.
Acting without thinking.
Without thinking.
Yeah.
About thinking.
Yeah.
The risk or consequences of an action.
If they write about Okujeto and they stated it's not only one thing, several things.
Okay.
Whether good or bad.
They also describe Okujeto as reckless.
Whether good or bad.
Well, he says two wrongs will not make a right. He's condemned that too.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Now so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.